Good morning, everybody. My name is Martin Forster. I'm a medical liaison with Pharmanex. Pharmanex is a very interesting company, as you'll come to see, and we have some great technology. Perhaps one of the more interesting pieces of technology we have is the Biophotonic Scanner. What is the Biophotonic Scanner? Well, it's cutting-edge technology to measure antioxidant levels. And it does it highly accurately, non-invasively, in 30 seconds. And it's a tool for lifestyle modification. This is really the holy grail that the doctors have been looking for in many respects, because that behavioral modification is so very hard to get people to do. The company has invested more than $170 million so far in the development of this technology. This is serious technology. It came out of the medical optics lab at Utah University, the same place where they developed the artificial heart. So how does the scanner work? Well, it works by putting out, and I'll show you the scanner. This is it. This is the new S3 version of the Biophotonic Scanner. And it puts out through this portal here a blue light at 473 nanometers per second. And that's in the blue spectrum. And what it does is you shine it into the palm of the hand in this way. And what it does is it detects carotenoids under the surface of the skin. And as you can see here, it goes into the skin, and as it encounters carotenoids, it reflects out in the green spectrum at 510 nanometers per second. And as it does that, it reads out on an iPad mini. Again, a great little piece of technology. And we have the iPad mini here. That's part of the whole kit. It is wireless, it's Bluetooth, it works extremely efficiently, and it can be carried from room to room or patient to patient. It gives us a score, and it gives us a score on this bell curve here. So far, we have some 17 million scans on this technology, which makes it the largest nutritional database in the world. The second largest is at Harvard, but this is the largest, and it's growing every day. We have scanners deployed in some 53 different countries, and this is the bell curve that this has produced. And as you can see, the vast majority of people are in the very low oxidative level here. This is excellent, this is poor, and if you grade it almost like school grades, you can get from an F to an A. Our goal is to get everybody at that A level. We read it out on this score scale here. As you can see, this indicates a low presence of skin carotenoids. A moderate presence is the yellow range, which we're getting a lot of today at this particular event. And a high presence of skin carotenoids is in the green, and preferably, of course, the blue. At the blue level, your cells, your DNA, are very well protected from oxidative stress and free radical attack. What are free radicals and where do they come from? Well, as you can see, they come from many different sources. They come from smoking. Smoking is one of the worst. You are ingesting trillions, literally, of free radicals every time you take a draw on that cigarette. Highly inadvisable to do. It will cause cell destruction, and if it's taken to its logical extreme, it will cause cancers. Sunlight is another culprit. You've seen people with skin cancer. Again, that's an example of oxidative stress. Excessive amounts of alcohol, well, you've seen the results of that, I'm sure we all have. Exhaust from cars and general pollution from smokestacks, from the bus that just accelerated away in front of you while you're in the traffic, and of course from radiation. We see the results of radiation on flight attendants, for example. If they've had a long career in the business, you'll see a lot of oxidative stress on their face. You'll see them having the same kind of skin structure as you would expect in a smoker. So how can we protect ourselves? Well, we protect ourselves with good food. And you can see here some examples. These foods here in this red area and green, those all contain carotenoids. They all contain antioxidants in very high levels. Hopefully the chicken is organic and the eggs too. And you've got some healthy bread there and so on. But food isn't what it used to be. You know, they always say nostalgia isn't what it used to be. Well, food isn't either. This is a very interesting chart. what it shows us here is the change, the decline in nutritional value in a number of different fruits and vegetables since 1985. This comes from a laboratory in Switzerland and in Germany as well, the Laboratory of Nutrition in Karlsruhe. And it shows, for example, that the amount of calcium in broccoli has declined by 73% between 1985 and 2002. Let's take, for example, strawberries. The amount of calcium is down 43%. The amount of vitamin C is down 87%. These are significant numbers. We all know that folic acid is essential, for example, in pregnancy. Bananas, the amount by which it's declined over that period has been 79%. So when somebody tells you, oh, you should be able to get all the nutrition you need from a good diet, it just isn't so anymore. That's no longer the case. So what can we do about that? Well, what we've got to do is try and achieve cellular protection, antioxidant protection. Because when you look at what's happening, you have the free radicals. And these lack that extra electron, and it makes them go around trying to rob them from other cells in the body. So they're like vampires, and they create other vampires as they go. Left unchecked, that becomes cancer. So how do we check it? Well, we put in antioxidants. And as I've shown you, you can get some of those from your food. And those antioxidants have an array of extra electrons that they can give up sacrificially to neutralize that free radical. And when it's neutralized, it becomes like this. And then it's harmless. It won't do any more damage. So do you need to supplement? Oh, yeah. Take a look at this from Richard Cutler. The amount of antioxidants that you maintain in your body is directly proportionate to how long you will live. That's from Richard Cutler. He's the director of anti-aging research at the National Institutes of Health. This one's an interesting one, dated June 19th, 2002. Scientists' understanding of the benefits of vitamins has greatly advanced, and now appears that people who get enough vitamins may be able to prevent such common chronic illnesses as cancer, heart disease, and osteoporosis. All adults should take a multivitamin daily. That, ladies and gentlemen, is from the Journal of the American Medical Association. American Medical Association being the governing body of the doctors in this land. So that is a powerful statement. And again, one from USA Today. Antioxidants can cut your risk of heart disease up to 70%, diabetes 40%, and lung cancer 30%. I think you understand you need to be supplementing. All right, so let's talk about the kind of supplements that Pharmanex produces. What's interesting about these is when we've taken your scan score, and you know that number, it's given you that benchmark from which you can start to enhance your nutrition, to enhance your lifestyle, and that lifestyle modification is key. Particularly critical is to start to take these kind of antioxidants. Every one of these products on this slide here are certified to increase your skin carotenoid score as measured by the scanner. What does that mean? It means that your health is gradually advancing in the right direction. And Pharmanex puts its money where its mouth is, quite literally. If your score does not increase within a 60-day period of you starting to take these products, you get 100% of your money back. As a physician, that's important because that does not come from you, it comes from our company. So what else have we done? Well, the way we're able to talk about the power and the strength of these is because our company was founded by two icons from the pharmaceutical industry. There was Joe Chang. Joe Chang was head of product development at Wyeth Home Labs, which is now part of Pfizer, and his colleague Michael Chang. Michael Chang was deputy director of medicinal chemistry at Merck. He was the one who led the team that developed Mevacor, one of the major statins. Well, these two gentlemen got together realizing that while they were finding perfectly good plant material that was capable of treating and mitigating or curing disease, they had to hand it off to their chemists to clone it, create that molecule on the basis of which they could get an 18-year patent. Well, Their frustration rose over the course of time in dealing with the FDA and so on. And ultimately, they came to the point where they realized what they wanted to do was to work on the nutritional side, to take those plant materials and start to put them together. But this time, unlike any other company in the nutraceutical space, to do it with all the disciplines of a pharmaceutical company. So they developed what they call the 6S quality process, which involves selection, sourcing, structure, tremendously important in the nutraceutical arena, standardization. I'm sure you've had the experience of taking some nutritionals where one bottle worked really well and the next bottle seemed to have absolutely no effect. That's what standardization is about, and we have it. Safety, critical. We've never had a product recall. That can't be said for many of the major other companies in the nutraceutical space. And substantiation. We want to know that there's real science behind this, because if there isn't real science, it doesn't make it into the Pharmanex product line. So what does this mean to you when you actually use these things? Well, I'll tell you what it meant to me. When I first experienced this company's products, I was already repping for another nutraceutical operation. And I tested, realizing that I was going to be on the extreme right-hand side. I was going to be in the blue. I was going to ace this test without even having to study for it. My score was a very disappointing 35,000. I was in the middle of the pack, which is, in high school terms, could do better, a lot better. But over the course of time, and this score was taken on the 30th of January of this year, you'll see my score went to 77,000, high up in the blue. What does that mean? It means that my antioxidant levels are high, my cells, my DNA are very well protected from oxidative stress. So if I get into the elevator and somebody sneezes on me, and they sneeze on you too, probability is you're getting it, and I'm not. Not a bad outcome. I want to talk about this gentleman here. He is a client of mine. He is actually 92 years young. He lives in southern Spain. And for the last 3 years, he has been on our products. Now, the LifePak Nano, the top-of-the-line product, is not available in Europe. They have LifePak. Again, an excellent product, superb product. He walks 3 miles a day. He's medication-free at 92, which, whenever I say that to somebody here in this country, they're aghast. How could you possibly be 92 years old and medication-free? And he takes LifePak and our krill oil, which is called Marine Omega. Again, an antioxidant product with the pink content, the pink coloring, pigmentation in the krill is actually antioxidant. And this is his score. He scored 73,000, as you can see on the scanner readout there. For a guy of 92, that's a pretty amazing score. Very few other 92-year-olds are going to have a score like that. So how does this translate to being in the practice? Well, basically, here are the program benefits. You earn from every scan. Typically, we recommend $20 to $25, although in certain areas of the United States, for example, New York City or Chicago, those city centers, they might charge $50 or $70 for a scan. But $20, I think, is a nice number. Sounds like a copay, doesn't it? So what that enables you to do is to build income through every single scan. But that's not where the big money is. The big money is in residual income from the supplements. It means that your practice is unusual. You'll receive new patient referrals. Somebody's going to say down at the golf club, you know, my doctor did something really interesting, very interesting test, and he's put me on a product I think you'd like. You'll receive those referrals. You'll have healthier staff. Get them on the products too, because then they'll become raving fans and they will make this program a success in your practice. You'll have no insurance claims, and you can feel completely safe and secure using products that are in your PDR. Okay, let's talk about the return of investment. Typically, any piece of equipment in your office is going to have a 3 to 5 year return on it. Not so with us. The Bioscan ROI is 5 to 20 times annually your initial investment. If you take this program on, you can be at break-even or profitability within 2 to 3 months. So what's the initial investment? Well, basically, you're going to buy a $2,700 initial inventory commitment. That gives you a number of boxes of the products so that you and your staff and your family can experience these things and understand what the impact of those are in your body. It'll also come with 600 scan cards, each of those worth $20. That's $12,000. So you can see your ROI right there. You'll put a $500 deposit on that scanner. This is a multi-thousand-dollar piece of technology, the scanner. You're putting down a $500 deposit, you're buying some product. And then on top of that, there'll be $80 of shipping. In the state of Florida, there's not a lot of tax because much of this is nutraceutical. But in some other states, there is tax. So we're talking approximately a $3,500 investment to get yourself into this business. And we can sign you up with a Pharmanex customer ID number, and we will get a scanner in your office within about a couple of weeks. Here are some things that are critical. Charging the patient for the initial scan is essential. You know what they say about things that are given away free? People value them to exactly the extent that they paid for them. If they pay nothing, they attribute no value to it. Minimum charge of $20 is recommended. I also recommend that you share some of that with your front desk staff. We don't want you, the physician, involved in this. This is something your staff do. So this can slot into your practice without absorbing a lot of your time at all, and it can move very smoothly as long as your staff is behind it. Let's talk about the kind of revenues that you can generate here. Scan 2 or 3 patients a day. That'll be 50 scans a month at $20. That'll be $1,000 a month. $12,000 a year. That is a 3.5 times ROI. Supplement revenue, that's where the bigger money is. Let's say you put 50 patients purchasing $100 a month of nutritionals on automatic delivery rewards program. That's a program that actually gives discounts back to the patient, but it also drafts their credit card and delivers the product fresh from the manufacturer completely to your patient's door. You don't have to get involved in any fulfillment. It means you don't have any products going stale on your shelves. Nothing gets stale dated. The program is automatic. It's auto shipment. 6 new patients a month on ADR will give you a free scanner lease. And furthermore, if you rescan those patients, rescan 12 patients a month, that will also give you a free scanner lease. So $13,200 of residual income annually from these 50 patients, plus your $12,000 of scanning fees. Your income is $25,200 a year. That's a 7.5 times return on your investment. Easy to do in the first year for any practice that is committed to do it. So let's look at a couple of other things. A combined income potential here. Let's assume that 15% of the patients that you scan convert to this. And you're doing 100 scans a month. That would generate you $54,000 annually. Okay? Let's assume you're able to boost that to a 20% conversion rate, because as you practice this and your staff gets more familiar with it and they get more enthused about it, they will be more compelling. 20% is easy to achieve. You already know that 70% of your patients are taking nutritionals anyway. They just don't have you to guide them yet as to what they should be taking. Option 3, 100 scans a month with a 40% conversion rate. You're up to $127,000 per year. We also have a physician referral program, and that physician referral program will pay you an override on those whom you introduce. You know that 10% of your files will want to increase their antioxidants. The national average shows that 100 patients equals $30,000 a year plus scanning fees. 300 patients is $90,000 a year plus your scanning fees. And this is residual income that you can take into your retirement with you. Let's talk about the lease here. It is a 36-month lease at $209 a month, but you can have it free. As I said, add 6 patients with a New Life Pack ADR per month, no fee. Rescan 12 patients a month, again, no leasing fees. And so the result is that healthcare practitioners who work this program never ever get to pay a scanner fee, a scanner lease fee. So this is just a math problem. I'm not saying that this is what you will do. I'm merely saying that this is a mathematical progression. It's what you could do. If you did 10 scans a day, and you generated those $200 a day, $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month, that's $48,000 per year in scanning fees. Add to that, you put 4 patients a day on the ADR. That's going to, even if you assume 50% attrition, that has the potential to generate you up to $202,000 in your first year. Candidly, very few doctors do this, but some have. Who knows if you would be one of those? What about the program benefits? Well, you'll get healthier patients, healthier staff, and healthier you. And when a patient comes in and sneezes on you and is unwell, you will be much less likely to catch that. You'll have a minimum of $12,000 a year of income from your scanning in your office, and you'll be building residual income that you can take with you into retirement. You get a free scanner lease. You get a reputation for your practice as being high-tech, cutting-edge, and you will receive those new referrals. This, I think you'd agree, is an extraordinary return on investment. But the program will only be successful if the doctor uses the Pharmanex products to increase his or her own antioxidant score. And also, by the way, to help on an anti-aging basis. It's also essential that the doctor recommends the products. It's very desirable and really will boost the business if the staff is compensated for the scanning and for the follow-up scans. So I recommend you share that wealth. And it's critical, of course, that the patients are charged for the first scan. So we will assist you. We'll train your staff on how to implement this in your practice in a painless, easy way. And if you should be the curious type, we have white papers, clinical trials, double-blind, placebo-based, randomized crossover studies. You can see all of those. And they're on the scanner and on the supplements, and we'd be delighted to provide them to you. We'd be very pleased to follow up with you. If you'd like to call us, please call me on 321-299-4164, and I'll be glad to make an appointment and come and visit you. Thanks very much for watching.
I probably have a lot of questions, but the one that came to mind, or the note I took, was on the conversions. And if I can remember,
yes.
It was like 15, 20, and 40% were the examples.
10, 20, and 40.
So that's saying that a patient that takes a scan will comply, I guess is the word, by adding the supplements or taking them on. Am I right?
That's correct, yes.
And in the history of this, that seems low to me, but maybe I'm just a thinking person, but I only have a 29,000 score, so I'll have to act on this. But why so low is really the question.
Very good question. The conversion rate for physicians who've been doing this for a while and who are really committed to the program is generally much higher than that. They already know that 70% of their patients are taking supplements anyway, but they're going down to Walgreens or the corner store, they're staring at the shelves until they go into complete brain befuddlement and they finally make a choice on the basis of label or price. That is the worst reason you can make a choice of a nutritional. You need to understand the science in the nutritional. And that, of course, is a story that's very difficult to tell on the label. See, these are a very differentiated product.
Please. I think we've all kind of seen the degradation of our food sources, okay? Yes. And so I wasn't surprised to see that, you know, strawberries I ate 40 years ago are not the same as the ones I eat today.
Right.
And there are a lot of products that people could get off the shelves that they think supplant those, you know, that are not food stuff. Mm-hmm. And so where is this leading, or does anybody see any trends? And I guess this is not a form of a question, but having a tool to actually see where you stand is probably the most useful thing. So I would think in a medical practice it would make sense that you have to have that to be able to grade the progress. Of course, they're going to feel better anyway too, but that's it.
Thank you. That's actually a great point, great question. The point about it is this is a behavioral modification tool. It's very interesting. Without naming the company or anything else, we had the scanner. The scanner was on Dr. Oz's show. It was a show called Cancer and Antioxidants. And when he put this on his show and tested himself in front of his audience, their bell curve came out very like the bell curve which you saw earlier, predictably enough. And in fact, it was a New York audience. There were a lot more down in the red, actually, which I guess is part of the whole stress and hustle and bustle of being a city dweller. But the key to this is that it is a compliance tool. As I said to you, if the patient goes back into the doctor's office 60 days later and the score hasn't gone up, it's a money-back guarantee on the product. That's the first thing. Second thing is, as the patient watches his or her score go up, they get more focused on getting a better result next month and a better result next month and so on. And it opens up the opportunity for the doctor to have that conversation about smoking, about diet, about weight, and about general lifestyle and habits. And are you sleeping properly? Do you take any exercise? Would you like to get your score higher? And what's also fun is when you get those physician referrals and you get two friends coming in, they get competitive about their scores. And these are wonderful things for the stickiness of the product. In other words, it helps retain the kind of clientele that, or patient base that the doctor wants to retain on a regularly visiting basis. It's a win-win for everybody. Thanks very much, everybody.